Alright, welcome back. I'm empty and we're going to be doing some... We're headed inbound to a targeting range here, roughly where this 64.05 is. We've got our IP in front of us that we're going to use today. This is going to be a basic bomb drop tutorial that I'm going to be doing here. So we're going to be, by basic I mean dumb bombs. So we're going to use Mark 82 high drag bombs, which are Mark 82 airs, and then I'm going to soy my HUD here, and I'm going to DMS switch to the left. Yes, we got APKWs on here, but I'm going to treat them. I accidentally loaded those up. We're going to treat those as if they're unguided for today. So we're going to do some unguided rockets onto our gun pit, and then also do guns onto the gun pit that's out here. And then we got normal Mark 82s, which we're going to do CCIP drop with them, and then for those Mark 82 airs, which are the high drag, we're going to do some low-level CCRP bombing with those. Currently, I'm going to soy, using my Kui hat right long, I'm going to soy our TGP. I'm at 14,000 right now, and we're just going to get established at the IP, which we're about 6 miles away. You can see that in the HUD right up in here. We're about 6 miles away, but we're going to go ahead and make these points. So if you saw my previous video on how to put mark points and make them into waypoints, that's basically what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to Nats ass this so then it's dead on. So we got mark point. This is going to be just called pit 1. And we're just going to throw that into there. And then we got pit 2. And all I'm doing is I'm using my DMS switch fore and aft in order to zoom in and out like this. And then in order to do the field of view change, you're going to China hat forward short, and that changes it from wide to narrow. And then I'm DMS switching forward in order to zoom in all the way so that I can get this dead on. And then I TMS switch right, that marks this waypoint, and then I just type in the name that I want and make it a waypoint like that. So sweet, those are set. Now let's find the gun pit, and so that's going to be to the right here. So I DMS switch to the right with the helmet, and got that set. And gonna go ahead and set this TMS switch right. That makes another mark point, and we're just gonna call this gun pit. Sweet. Now that those are in, I'm going to do a level turn to the right without hold. Those are in. I'm going to go ahead and throw those in my flight plan. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put pit 1. And then insert pit 2. Insert pit 3, and then insert gun pit. There we go. Now if we look at our flight plan, kind of see our flight plan here. I can go over here and zoom in a bit. You can see we got 1, 2, 3, and 4 as our waypoints in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to IP, and also I'm going to go back to the flight plan mode, and I'm going to put this on to manual so it doesn't cycle through waypoints, and I'm good there. So what we're going to be doing for this first run, what I'm going to try to do is we're going to do 2 runs. We're going to try this out, or not try it out, I've done this multiple times before. We're going to go about 1,000 feet AGL above the deck here. So if we look at our targets with our repeater here, so we can look up here. I'm going to try to use the upfront controller a little bit more and this backup. So at this point, I really don't need the targeting pod. So I'm going to have this backup controller, or backup of the CDU here. So we're going to hit function, waypoints. I'm going to go waypoints here, And I want to look at that first waypoint. So we're gonna go 1, because that's what waypoint it was. And we see that it's 3,444 feet. So what I'm gonna do is, we know that's 3,444 feet, so that means I need to be roughly about 4,000 feet on my altimeter to be 1,000 feet, and I'll probably just stay at that 4,000 as I come in for this run. So now let's talk about the DSMS page. The DSMS page, so you've got your weapons here. I haven't gone into much detail on this. So we got our Mark 82 airs here, as you can see. And so we can go into the profile for those. So this is the profile for everything. We have air POT, or APO. So what we can do is then we can view that profile. So right now it's got it as a single nose-tail fusing CCIP. I want to change this to CCRP because I'm going to do a CCRP drop with this. So saving that, and we'll go into the HUD symbology for CCRP when it comes to it. Now, the way I'm going to do this is you can set this up. If we come back to this page, you could set it up to where you do multiple, so that's a press, or you do a ripple, and you can put a quantity and a spacing. So you could do the math, Nat's ass, and hopefully you fly in a line here, and you could see the spacing using our T-pod here. So if I move my targeting pod over to here, and zoom it out, and I adjust this control to where it is we throw it into feet. And then what I can do is, right now I know the spacing for this is roughly about 44 feet. There's 100 for the entire spacing. So, and that's like the field of view that I'm seeing. So as the closer I get, the kind of the pod gets zoomed further in. So in reality, I could put the edge on here and zoom it in to where I get the edge in the edge of the pod on, and I could Nat's ass between the 2 points. But I'm not really going to worry about that, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it as a single save. And what we're going to do is I'm going to run in, and I'm going to have my soy in the HUD, and I'm going to cycle through my waypoints quickly, and I'm going to drop on pit 1 and pit 3. So that means I need to DMS. So if you see what I'm doing here, I'm DMS aft and forward right now. The HUD is soy, and that's allowing me to cycle through my steer points. So right now I've got the pit IP. So that's how that's going to work. And we can go ahead and fly in. But before I do that, let's go through the rest of the DSMS for this. So if we go to the Mark 82, which is going to be the other one that I'm going to be set, we're going to have, I've got it as single, nose, tail, and CCIP, which will go into CCIP bombing. That's going to be more your traditional dive bombing. Okay, and then if we go back to profiles, then we can go up here to the APKWs, or the rockets. We can also set profiles for that. We can look at that. So for instance, say I want a single ripple. I know there's 7, so we're just going to do one quick pass on this when it comes to the timing for it. So I'm going to put 7 in my scratch pad there, and I'm just going to place it here and see how I can change that quantity. So that means I'll do a single press, and then it will ripple off all 7 with that single press. Now if I do a ripple press, that means if I release that, then it'll stop shooting. So those are the difference between those two functions. So we're going to save that there, and sweet. So that kind of goes over the DSMS page. You can do additional things. So let's go back down to this. You can change some of the other settings, like a min out setting that you want for this, and then you can also set up a laser latch if it's a laser guided bomb, such as the GBU-12 or the GBU-54s. But we're not going to worry about that today because we're just doing dumb bomb practice. So I'm going to go back to the main DSMS page and showing what I have here. Sweet. So we're going to hack ourselves, get down there quickly. And I'm over pulling right now, setting in the stick. There we go. Putting out some speed brakes. The key thing with these drops that you're going to want to make sure you do is that you stay level with the for the CCIP or CCRP drops. You want to stay level and stay at a consistent speed for the drop. And what you're going to do is you're going to see the ball or the bomb fall line. There's going to be a marker that's going to come down, and you're going to want to make sure you keep that. Keep a consistent speed for that, and you're going to hold down the pickle button as we come in. One thing I forgot to do is we need to fence in for all this. Sweet. So we're fenced in. Now we got our gun pipper, or we got our pipper for this as well. And we should be getting, as we come up, there's our bomb fall marker for this drop. So we're coming down to 1400. I'm going to then adjust my heading, because what I want to do is I want to make sure, or sorry, we're at 4,000. I want to make sure I get all those in line with each other from front to back. And the reason why I want to do that is because I'm going to make sure that I'm flying over the direct of them. So I'm doing a slight offset from where my from where my IP was, in order so I'm in line with them. Okay, we're pretty well lined up, or have them pretty well lined up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pipper on that bomb fall line, and we can see that that first pit is our sensor point of interest, our speed, as we can say. We can also see our targeting pod information out there too. So we want to make sure we set our throttle in order so we're not gaining or losing speed. 250 is a decent speed. You can come in faster as well. And all we're going to do is make sure that we have that pipper, that circle pipper, in line. So now we've got the initiating of the ball bomb. And as you can see, we have 14 seconds till drop. And now it's coming to the right, so I need to come to the, or left. And pickle. We had good pickle on that one. And then I need to fix myself here. And pickle. And we'll get indications
Impact.
on how
139
we got an excellent
degrees,
hit
4,
on that
2,
one.
6
And see that
feet.
bomb coming
Excellent
in?
hit. Impact. 167 degrees, 4, 5, 5
And those were two
feet.
good hits.
Excellent hit.
So I wanted to call that one an excellent hit. I would have called that second one there a okay hit, because it wasn't dead on, but that first one was dead on, and that's because these bomb pits aren't perfectly aligned. So you got to try to get yourself lined up. So we're going to do this one more time. As you can tell, we got a pretty nice range out here. We've got those bomb pits. We got an additional bomb pit over here, and then we have that gun pit, which are all really good for practicing bombing. So we're going to come back in. We're about 3,000 feet AGL. So I'm just going to try to get us lined up back up again. One thing that I could have done, but because we don't have it set, is if you can kind of line up your markers using the F10 map, you can get a heading, an attack heading, or a JTAC can get you an attack heading. And what you can do then is you can set this in there, like I want this specific attack heading, and so you're all in line. So I'm going to start my turn in here, getting down to altitude. And you want to do this with these high drag bombs because, as you can tell, they drop pretty quickly or I mean they slow down really quickly because they're high drag, which then allows you to get away from the target so you can do these low drops. You don't want to do them too low. My lowest that I recommend doing is about, lower the seat here, that's the seat lowering so then we can see everything a little bit better here. And I need to get the right bomb pit in. So now we have 16 seconds till drop. We got our our pipper starting to show that it's going to be falling soon. And I've got a slight lean in here because for some odd reason it wants me to correct to the left. And pressing the pickle button now. And we did not get a drop on that one, so we're going to try a drop on this one. And we didn't get a drop on that one. And because I was not wings level enough, so we're going to come back through and do another repeat of that again. So it's because with the CCRP dropping and specifically for the Mark 82s, in order for the computer resolution to be tight enough for it to know that it impacted close enough to that indicator, you got to make sure you keep your wings pretty well level, otherwise it's not going to drop very well. So let me go ahead and put my speed back on pit number 1 so that I'm not messed up again. And we're going to come in again. And this will be a little bit quicker because I'm staying right over the top of the area. The reason why I'm doing this drop first is because I'm pretty heavy right now because of all those Mark 82s, and I want my other bomb drops to be a little bit more effective. So I'm going to just put my flight path marker dead on these right now because I feel like this is going to come to that side a little bit more. And now pickle. There's that one. Cycle, cycle. And pickle. There we go. There's both of those.
Impact. 1,
we got
7,
good impact there.
9 degrees. 4,
and we see
6,
that bomb go
0
in right
feet.
there. And
Excellent hit.
impact there.
Impact.
That
1,
was a good hit.
4, 2 degrees. 4, 8, 9 feet. Good hit.
Okay, so those were good hits. Now what we're going to do is, I'm not really going to worry about the IP. We're going to just climb up here. We'll probably get about back up to 14,000 feet. And I'm going to now in the HUD, and I need to raise my seat back up because now we're going to be doing a different style bombing, and I want you to be able to see everything, is the CCRP bombing. So I have soy in the HUD, and now I'm going to cycle to my Mark 82s. So we see Mark 82s, we saw the CCIP quickly there. We have Mark 82s in there. I've got 6 total. See the 3 there and the 3 there. And that's that rack we can see here. See? Pretty mean looking rack setup right now. So we're going after the small bomb pit just to give some variety to this. And if I line myself up here, and you can actually see we have this bomb fall line as well, but this is going to guide us to wherever it's calculating. CCIP stands for that calculated or computer calculated impact point. That's the CCIP, and I should have mentioned with the CCRP is the computer calculated release point. But for this CCRP drop, we're going to want that line to become solid, and we'll see the pipper that we couldn't see there because it's obscured, and that's what the dashed line. So solid means we're good to drop, and we'll have a pipper at the bottom, and we'll put that pipper right onto that bomb pit, center of the bomb pit, and we will hit release on it, and that'll be a good drop. So in order to set us up, I want to put that bomb pit, and the nice thing is that since I have the helmet, I don't have to like turn to make sure. I'm putting it off my nose currently because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go roll up and down and into the target area, so then we can get a good angle on that target. So I'm still going climb because you want to make sure you have a decent amount of altitude on this so you can actually perform this decent enough. Okay, so as we're coming in, get my nose to drop by decreasing the throttle, swinging that nose back to there, roll in, set. Gonna put in some speed brake, make sure that we're good. Now see how we have the solid pipper, and I'm running it right up that bomb pit and Pickle, and you saw it flash there, and we're going to just watch it. Watch.
Impact.
Good impact.
107 degrees. 430. Excellent hit.
So now, if we want to, what we can do is I'm going to do one more of those attacks. I can show you a couple different modes that we can set up. So if we go to our IFFCC, which is part of that computer system that's doing the calculations, we can then switch over and you see these CCIP consent modes. So these are like almost intermediate modes that we can set in order for us to do a somewhat in between a CCIP and a CCRP drop. So let's go ahead and put this at 3.9. And what then that's going to do is that's going to then give us our pipper early, and I'm gonna dive down here. So you see how the pipper is already there at the bottom. What we can do is we can hit and hold that. So what this will allow you to do is you can come in at less of an angle to drop. So we're gonna go after that bomb pit 1 again. And we're going to come in at less of an angle for this one, not as steep of an angle. And we're going to then come in at about a 10 degrees nose down. Okay? So we could actually come up even more. So let's go actually more of a 5 degrees nose down. And you see I've got to kind of sit up my seat here and get this adjusted. And we're going to pickle and hold, and then it has its own little bomb fall marker. And as soon as I saw that release, so now we got 2 bombs, or we got a second bomb away now onto that target area.
Impact.
And we had a good
4
impact.
degrees. 4,
So it was a little shorter, and a
feet.
little less accurate,
Good hit.
but you don't come down as much, and so you can stay away from enemy air for that aspect. So now let's go in, and we're going to then adjust the profile on this, and let's go ahead and make it a ripple single, and let's set it to 2 bombs per. And let's set it to 10 feet, because I believe that's the shortest that we can do. Yeah, 10 feet is the shortest that you can do on the ripple. And we're going to save that profile. So now that profile is saved in there. And even though I turned that consent switch or mechanism on for that CCIP consent, I can still do the other method of bomb drop. And what we're going to do for this one is I'm going to come in high like I did before, and we're going to do that bomb drop. And then the last one, what we're going to do is I'm going to adjust it to maybe not 300 feet. That's going to be a little bit hard because I need to pull up. We'll just do a second attack with the other set of bombs. So now we're going to roll in onto our target area here. And you can see we still have that pipper in there, and we're going to increase speed as we come down here because I've got my speed brakes in right now. So we're going to increase our speed up. I still have the power back, and we're just going to keep that nose down, 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 down until that becomes solid. And it's solid, Pickle. And I'm going to cycle with my Kui hat, and we see that we drop 2. And there's the bomb pit there.
Impact.
And we had
1, 3
really good impact
degrees.
dead
4,
on each other.
2, 9er
That would have
feet.
definitely destroyed the
Excellent
tank.
hit. Impact. 0, 0, 4 degrees, 4, 1,
So
3.
we were 4 meters
Excellent hit.
off of the target with that second hit. Sweet. So let's go do one more attack at the smaller one, and if you want, or I will do another CCIP consent drop on this one, so I'm going to come down just a little bit more, keep my speed up. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up. We're going to go after this other bomb pit right over here. So it'll be a little bit different. It's not marked with any smoke or anything. So this would be like a target of opportunity that we didn't set up for completely just yet. So if you want, you can get it more solid by increasing your speed, and that will actually make it a little bit better.
Rolling in on strafe target.
Yeah, that's the strafe target pit that I'm dropping on here, but we'll see how the impacts go.
Hits on target, 0. Total rounds fired, 0. Accuracy, 0%.
And you see how we hit
Forecast,
that there.
impact, 3, 0 degrees, 4, 4, 1 feet. Excellent hit, impact, 3, 0, 5 degrees, 8, 6 feet. Good hit, rolling in on strafe target, hits on target, 0, total rounds fired, 0, accuracy, 0%.
And yeah, so this setup that we have here for this range will grade you. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to do a normal rocket attack without lasing. And so you can see here we've got the solid cross, the cross there. That's going to be where it's where the rockets are going to be fired at, and then that CCIP is where they're actually going to impact out. So at this point, I'm going to just move this Pipper, or move my targeting pod onto that. There. So the key thing that you want to do with these rockets is you're going to make sure that you need to make sure that you're, see how that's starting to
rolling
come in,
on strafe target,
and
hits on target,
just make
0,
sure you keep that
total
CCIP
rounds
line
fired,
there,
0,
and now we're
accuracy,
going to fire.
0%.
And hold.
Forecast, impact, 1, 7, 6 degrees, 4, 6, 7 feet.
So just make sure you
Excellent
put
hit,
that
impact,
circle Pipper
1,
onto the
7,
target area,
6
and you're good.
degrees, 4, 6, 9 feet.
So last but not
Excellent
least,
hit,
we're going to be
impact,
doing the
1, 6,
gun
8 degrees,
now.
4,
So we're
2,
going to use that master
5
mode switch.
feet.
I just switched over to the
Excellent
guns
hit, impact,
now.
1, 6,
And
4 degrees,
I'm
4,
going to set this up
1,
a little
8
bit different.
feet. Excellent
So
hit, impact,
what
1,
I'm going to do
6,
first
2 degrees, 1,
is
4
I'm going to do
feet.
initially
Excellent hit,
a
impact,
strafe,
1, 6, 4 degrees,
or we're going to go onto
1,
the gun pit.
7 feet. Excellent hit, impact, 1, 6, 6 degrees, 4, 2, 8 feet. Excellent hit.
Okay, so now we're going to be rolling in on the gun pit now. So I'm going to TMS switch forward so that my targeting pod's looking over there at the gun pit. But as we're coming in now, we can go ahead with the soy in the HUD. I'm going to TMS switch aft, and now my SPI is now my gun Pipper. So, and trying to hat forward, and now my targeting pod is now onto my gun sight. And it's all messed up right now because I need to... Here we go. So, now that we've got this set, if I wanted to do... So let's look into the HUD first. And right now we're at a mile, .5. And let's do guns, 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 guns. And we can pull up. Targeting pod should go now to the speed. And we had some impact. You can kind of see the dots there for that impact.
Hits on target 8-2. Total rounds fired 1-3-4. Accuracy 6-1%. Good pass.
See. So now let's try to come out a little bit further. We're going to go to about 2 miles. 2 miles is like a decent range for the gun. But as you can tell, the target area is going to be pretty hard to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do narrow on the gun targeting pod, or on the targeting pod. I'd still technically, even though my nose is up and the CCIP Pipper is invalid, the main speed that I have is my CCIP Pipper. So that's the reason why the speed went back to my steer point that's in my HUD. But currently, the speed is my CCIP Pipper. So I'm going to come back around, get lined up with the run-in, which is basically along the side of that road. And that IP is a little bit more for the gun pit than it is for the actual bomb pits, but it still works. Okay, we're about 4 miles out from the target. And I'm rolling in now on it. So I'm going to get the Pipper in the area and get it stabilized. I'm going to half trigger, which then allows the gun pack to stabilize. And I'm going to look and just ease it back to where... And there. And guns, 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 guns.
Rolling
guns,
in on
guns,
straight
guns.
target.
And there we go. So that time
Hits
I
on target 4-7.
was a little bit
Total
further
rounds
out.
Fired 7
well.
8. Accuracy 6-0%. Good pass.
And we can go out even further and try to do it even from farther out. So I'm going to try that here. We're going to go all the way out to the IP and get a pretty far running. Sweet. And so you saw how the gun pack stabilized. So I stabilized just below the target, and then I was trying to readjust. You got to unclick that half trigger in order to do that. The way you arm that gun pack is this switch right here. So if I went gun arm, that means then I don't have that pack, which is precision accuracy. And it helps stabilize the aircraft on that target, so then you don't accidentally stray from the target. It just helps stabilize the aircraft. Okay, it's now on my Pipper. That Pipper's gonna have a hard time being all the way out here, so let's zoom in. See if we can't stabilize on that. You come a little bit more to the left. Okay. So there is some further out gunshots, and then we're gonna come in again.
Rolling in on straight target.
And there's all the guns out. Right there. Let's see how we did.
Hits on target. 1, 8. Total rounds fired. 2, 5, 9.
I definitely shot more than that.
6, 9%. Good pass.
But there you go. So that's some basics of the non-precision, but they're still pretty accurate forms of employing weapons for the A-10 and DCS. So I'm gonna see you guys another time. I've got a RTB and fly back to Nellis. See ya.